Hello everybody, this is Grady Hughes. We are going to be going over the reference to zombies in the case of Lori and Chad. Nate Eaton on EastIdahoNews.com put out an article 2 days ago, and if you click on, there's a specific link and it goes to the actual document that was produced in court by Brandon Boudreaux in response to a motion by Melanie Boudreaux regarding a child custody dispute. I'm reading the caption underneath that image right there. Brandon alleges the document was written by Melanie's new husband, Ian Pawlowski, after he met with law enforcement officers. This document was found on a computer belonging to Ian, according to multiple sources. Okay, so this is a document we're going to go over here that was on Ian's computer, and it was produced in court, and I'm not really sure how Brandon got it, but this seems really specific, so it doesn't seem like it's just ludicrous, to be honest with you, this document. So here is the portion that is put on East Idaho News website. Okay, I might break this up into a couple parts, but let's just go over these highlighted bullet points right here. It's nuts. Multiple probations. A minimum of 9 mortal lives to become exalted, but more to become gods. See, this is a sort of it gives a word and then it describes what that means. So multiple probations. Minimum of 9 mortal lives to become exalted, but more to become gods. After 2 mortal lives, you can choose to sign a light contract or dark contract. Choosing light or dark isn't permanent. So I guess you can just be a bad person or a good person. It's not permanent because you can always be good again. It sounds like they're kind of modeling this after WWF wrestling. You can choose not to be reborn if you are satisfied with your progress. Veil grows thinner each time you are reborn. I think this probably opens the door for, you know, if you we'll teach you how to become reborn over and over again, and then, you know, it just costs a little bit of money to get through these different steps, and then the veil becomes thinner. You know, the Julie Rowe reference of the angels behind the veil. Multiple ceilings possible, but males can choose one true spouse or have many. Wow, that sounds like bigamy, doesn't it? That just sounds a little bit crazy right there. You can have one true spouse or have many, but it doesn't say anything about how women can have one true spouse or have multiple partners. Crazy. Translation. This is another word that they're defining. So there's a term called translation in this cult. Translated beings cannot die, cannot reproduce, do not need sleep or food, wow, and do not feel the sorrow of the world. Injury is possible, however, but healing is accelerated and is never fatal. Wow. I think they should probably test that out on Chad and Lori, because I'm sure they think they're translated beings. Maybe they should test that theory out on them. Done in multiple phases. This is another definition of translation. Done in multiple phases, tests, usually lasting 3 days. Upon completing the last phase, the Lord appears to the translated. Wow. Think how creepy that would be. You're doing the phases all, and whoa! The Lord just reveals himself. Now, underneath that portion, there's definition of that. So, done in multiple phases, usually lasting 3 days. Upon completing the last phase, the Lord appears to be to the translated being. Okay, because probably when you're translated, you can see a little bit further behind the veil, and then the Lord shows himself to you. Physical can be any physical ailment, from sexual desire to disease to severe fatigue. So they're saying in here that sexual desire is a physical ailment. Wow. I don't. That makes absolutely no sense. So what are you saying that if somebody desire, like if you're married and you desire to have sex with that person, you're actually sick? Makes no sense. Emotional. Any emotional, mental ailment, like spiritual. A great test of faith, a time of darkness and doubt. This is under emotional. Possible new phase discovered as husband and wife become more united sexually, possibly increasing power of vibration. So what they're saying is, if you increase the vibration of your spirit, you can sort of make the veil a little bit more see-through. You can see through the veil here. Now what's weird right there is it says that possibly new phase discovered as husband and wife become more united sexually. Well, aren't they sick then? Because you said if they desired having sex, they're mentally ill. Okay, but if they have more sex, are you saying at this point they're becoming more united, but neither of them want it at all? They're just doing it for the sole purpose of having children. But how does that make them more united if that's the case? It sounds like you're promoting rape here. There are 50 dark translated humans. Okay, so they're saying there are 50 translated dark humans out there that can see behind the veil, but are dark. And then now they actually name two of them are detectives Hope and Hermosillo. So they're actually saying that two of the dark translated beings are probably detectives that are looking into the crap that they're talking about. Right? And this, again, this sort of sounds like Julie Rowe type stuff here. Work under the direction of Satan and Lucifer. So this document's saying that Detectives Hope and Hermosillo work under the direction of Satan, Lucifer, and Cain. Okay, now here's another word, stats. Vibration. Indication of one's spiritual strength. And then if you're above a certain level 1,000, garments are no longer necessary. Wow. So I think they think of this as like a video game. Hey, ding, 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 hey, if you get above 1,000, no garments needed. So basically, if you're naked, you become, at that point, you are a, let's see. Your spiritual strength at 1,000 is very strong. So you can see behind the veil, but you're nude. So basically, if you're at a nudist colony and you are one of these translated beings, you can see behind the veil. It's amazing. Wow. So if you see somebody walking around nude, just assume they are a translated being that can see behind the veil. All right. But clothes is definitely no longer needed once you've hit level 1,000 or above. Now, they never really described what level meant. They just sort of said level 1,000, like, hey, it has a video game feel to it. Higher vibrations can help to thin the veil. And it says libido, 1 to 100. And what that means is indication of sex drive. Well, isn't it more like a 1 to 100 is your mental health quotient, right? So if you are 70, you're sick as hell because you have a libido and you have a sex drive. And because above you said that was a mental illness. Okay? So I'm not really sure why down here that's kind of a good thing. It's weird how they switch around. Trust level, indication of how much someone can be trusted. Wow, thank you for explaining what the word trust level meant. Because I think none of us could understand. Thank you for saying that indication of how much someone can be trusted. Yes, that one was so obvious you didn't need to even put it in there. However, all the other stuff, my God, you do need to have a definition in there. It's ridiculous. Okay, zombies. Here's the part that was referencing zombies right here. Human bodies that have had their original spirits forced from them and have been possessed by either a demon, original third of the heavenly host who followed Lucifer, dismembered spirits, once living human spirits who have chosen not to be reborn into another probation. Or a worm slug. Oh, the elusive worm slug, everybody. A creature controlled by Lucifer that enters the body to control the host. That's probably the catch-all slam that they do. Like if you get in there and you're like, well, yeah, forget it. This stuff doesn't make any sense to me. I'm sorry. They go, you're a worm slug. Be gone. Spirits can be pushed from their bodies during traumatic events or deadly injury. So this is under zombies again. Spirits can be pushed from their bodies during traumatic events or deadly injury. So what you're saying is if there's a zombie out there, you can free their spirit by killing them. So I'm hoping this isn't sort of referencing what you thought of JJ and Tylee, that they were actually zombies, and by maybe ending their lives, you freed their spirits. So what you're probably saying, what a zombie is that if somebody encounters a traumatic event or deadly injury, that their original spirit leaves, and then maybe their body's taken over by a different being. Spirits pushed out are trapped in limbo as the body they're tied to is still living, but cannot be occupied by them anymore. Okay, that is kind of what you're saying. Oh, so you're saying they don't even have a spirit, they're just walking a lot like The Walking Dead. You know, come on. You guys, whoever believes in this kind of stuff is a moron, all right? Sorry. Spirits trapped in limbo cannot progress to a new mortal life and cannot re-enter their existing body. Right, so let's see. So you're saying up here, when they're human bodies that have had their original spirits forced from them and have been possessed by either a demon, spirits can be pushed from their bodies during traumatic events. Spirits pushed out are trapped in limbo. Okay, so if there's a traumatic event or deadly injury, their spirit is sent out and is trapped, they're saying. And then spirits that are trapped in limbo cannot progress to a new mortal life and cannot re-enter their existing body. The only way to move forward is to wait the death of their current possessed body. Oh, I see. So, like, yeah, this is so ridiculous. So what you're saying is that if your spirit is removed by a bodily injury or, you know, some traumatic injury or a near-death event, it's in limbo. The only way to free that spirit is to then kill the host that no longer has your spirit in it. Wow. Spirits trapped in limbo cannot progress to a new mortal life and cannot re-enter their existing body. The only way to move forward is to await the death of their current possessed body. This is an illegal action against heavenly law performed by the possessor. Teleportation. I'm not sure what that means. This is an illegal action against heavenly law performed by the possessor. And so that's another definition under. So zombies is becoming a zombie is an illegal action. Okay, so the only way to perform the justice on that illegal action is to kill the host, therefore freeing the spirit that once originally was occupied that host. Teleportation. Oh man, I tell you what, I'm all in. If there's teleportation, I'm all in. I want to be in Sydney, Australia. Ah, I'm still here. Shit. When translated beings, okay, I'm not translated, are needed, and this is stuff that Julie Rowe talks about all the time, how she's travels the universe. So she is the epitome of a translated being in her own mind. When translated beings are needed, they may, with the Lord's permission, teleport to the necessary location to perform their assigned duties. And then there's dark and light portals. Physical objects all around us have ties to the spiritual world and can open portals, gateways of both light and darkness, through which light and dark entities may pass. Church of the Firstborn and the 144,000. So, you know, we've heard this 144,000 number a lot. I mean, why not 150? Why not 200? Okay, how about this? Why not make the number something like 144,372? Okay, that way I'd go, wow, they're really specific. They might be onto something here. I mean, how would they have that exact number? Instead, it's sort of a round number. Seems kind of contrived, you know. So I would suggest that you put, you know, for the people you want to sucker into this, you know, add some digits at the end, like just some random number. The Church of the Firstborn is a higher organization and God's church in its truest form on earth. So this is the Church of the Firstborn and the 144,000. The mysteries of God are revealed to those who have become part of it. So that's probably what this document is. If you're one of the 144,000, isn't it weird that you picked your family members to be part of the 144,000? I mean, what were the odds that they just happened to be part of that? It's really weird. The mysteries of God are revealed to those who have become part of it. Terrestrial blessings and locations begin to be revealed to members. Doctrines add to, but do not replace, those of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Prophets of the Mormon Church presides over the general congregation, while others are called specifically to run the Church of the Firstborn. Multiple branches throughout the world. The 144,000 are called to bring to pass all signs of the second coming of Christ. Multiple groups specializing in different powers and activities. Chad and Lori's group specializes in healing and music. Patriarchal Order of the Holy Melchizedek Priesthood. I don't even know what that says. Melchizedek Priesthood. A higher priesthood bestowed to Chad by Peter, James, and John. Wow, see, there you go, everybody. I just told you. Chad is the head guy, I've been saying this for a long time, in the cult. Now, whether or not, if Lori's sort of pushing and pulling the strings behind the scenes, we don't know, but he's definitely the figurehead. Dark Church and Priesthood. Satan is God's exact opposite. Lucifer has a body, was once an opposite and fell. Cain was the first dark being to be translated in this creation and walks the earth with 50 dark translated beings. You know, remember earlier there was 2 detectives that they deemed part of that. To prevent delay the Lord's second coming. So these 50 dark beings, including Cain, are on earth to prevent or delay the Lord's second coming. So the reason they put the word delay in there is that they can just string this on forever. Oh, but they're delaying it. That's why the second coming hasn't happened. It's just delay. Right? It's just the wording in there so they can just keep pushing this bullshit forever and ever and ever. Spiritual gifts, powers. People can manipulate the elements to do the Lord's will and bring to pass signs of his second coming. If you can imagine it, it's real. Every fantastic idea is a reality somewhere. Magic, wizard, sorcerers, witches, etc. Spells and curses in Harry Potter are real and require great focus, will to use. Supernatural creatures. Dragons, giants, fairies, centaurs, etc. Wow, it's so cool. You know, they're trying to get people who read Harry Potter and those types of people who take those kind of things overboard, and they'll want to believe and join. Spiritual weapons, dark and light weapons. Weapons that cannot be perceived by celestial beings that injure and scar the spirit. Cords. Ties to people that things both light and dark that influence us. Spiritual healing. Healing. Malachite Solutions Balm. Malachite is said to have healing properties. Administered by calling on its blessings. Okay, so those are the definitions in there, and I will also put out another video that goes over the written portion below. Alright, so wow, this is just wackadoodle stuff all around, absolutely crazy. Alright everybody, so that's it for this video. Until next time, be safe out there.